Welcome to the Nicole Marie Experience. I am so excited to be sharing all the things I love, makeup tutorials, skincare reviews, and we'll be getting into some girl talk. You know what that means. Yep, you guessed it, my love for wine, and so much more. So come along for the ride. We're going to be spilling all the tea. Well, I guess I should say all the wine. Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Marie and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Nicole Marie Experience. How y'all doing today? Make sure you go hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, go hit that like button too, so that you get notifications on when new videos pop up. So I hope everybody is having a really great week, a really great day. Grab your wine glasses because we're going to be telling some stories. We're going to be talking and chatting while I'm testing out some new makeup. So today we're drinking a red blend by Trader Joe's. Yes, Trader Joe's does have a line of wines and they are very good. I'm not a Sauvignon Blanc person or a Pinot Grigio kind of person, but everything else, I like a lot. I like it. So, and they're only $2.99. So some days I drink really good wine, and sometimes I drink really good wine that's cheap. We like that. So, what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be talking about how I got fired from the happiest place on earth. Yes, I got fired from Disney. Yes, I am that person. I got fired from Disney. And I'm going to tell you how it happened. So we're going to go back into time. This was about, I want to say probably 6 years ago. Ooh, time is moving a little too fast for me. Hopefully those who are looking to maybe do the same thing as I, do a little differently, and hopefully I can drop some knowledge on people who are looking to perform or dance for Disney, or maybe I'm just here to make you laugh. Whatever. Okay, so I got fired from Disney. Yes, I did. And let me tell you how that happened. So I wanted to dance for Disney for a very long time. I am a dancer, like a real dancer, like a dancer. And I just wanted to dance in general. So I had auditioned at a couple of places and a couple of auditions, and they didn't really go anywhere. I got cut. So then I went back and I auditioned for Disney World. And I made it through to the very end, where they're like, okay, audition's over. Our people will call your people. But their people never called my people, so, So what happens is that after the audition's over, they keep your information and your resume for about 6 months. So that something happens to one of their performers, they can plug you right in. Or if they get a new show, they can add you. Well, that never happened for me. And in the entertainment business, it's actually the only business that's allowed to typecast, which means that if they're looking for a certain body type, a certain build, certain ethnicity, certain shape, like hair color, eye color, the performing arts community is really the only place they can do that. But, whatever. So I wanted to audition, so I was doing whatever I could to audition for them and try to make it in. And I just wasn't getting a call back. And so I was like, you know what? All right, well, let me just keep going, pedal to the metal, keep grinding it out. And then, obviously I have to work. So I decided to take a little break. And then the opportunity came about. There was just, there wasn't any auditions up here in the tri-state area. So I decided that I was going to go to Florida to audition because it was the only dance audition for quite a while. So I was like, you know what? I really just want to I'm making it through these auditions to the end. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? I get cut. Whatever. So my aunt, who's always gung-ho, Go ahead. Go do it. Go. Do it. So I was like, you know what? What do I have to lose? So I booked the flight. It's about probably like a couple $100, maybe like no more than $150. Cool. Good to go. The audition's in the middle of February. Now, you're always taking a chance in the middle of February that it's going to snow. And what happens? It snows. And it's a pretty bad snowstorm. Like, I'm at work. I'm working with my store manager. And she's great. She's so supportive with my, any of my endeavors. And I told her that I was leaving for Florida that night to audition. She's like, yeah, go ahead. Like, why not? So then it's a snowstorm. So I'm like, okay, are they still booking the flight? Like, I'm not getting the notification that they're canceling the flight. So I'm assuming that there's still a flight. And I have to go all the way to Philadelphia to catch this flight. Now, I'm in Jersey. It's about a 45-minute train ride to Philadelphia from where I am. So I'm hoping the trains are still running. I'm hoping the flight is not canceled. But I'm not getting any notification that the flight's canceled. So now they're starting to close down the stores a little bit earlier because it's snowing. So I asked her if I can leave a little bit earlier just to make sure, maybe I can get on the earlier flight so I can get down there. She's like, you know what? No one's coming in here. We're getting ready to close the store. Go. So from there, I go to the train station, park the car, get on the train to Philadelphia. I finally get to Philadelphia 45 minutes later. Still no notifications on if my flight is grounded or it's not. I'm in line to check in. And what happens? I get the notification.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I'm in Philly. And I get the notification that the flight is canceled. I'm in line. The flight's canceled. I'm in Philly. 45 minutes. You do the math. So I'm like, you know what? I've come all this way. I cannot accept this. So I go to the counter. Actually, I call first. And she's like, there's nothing we can do. Your flight's canceled. You're just going to have to wait till tomorrow morning. We can't rebook it. None of our flights are leaving from our airline. So I'm like, oh, shit. All right. So then now I go to the counter. I'm like, I have to get down to Florida tonight. I have a really important audition tomorrow. I have to get down there tonight. What can you do? So he's typing, I'm sorry, your flight's canceled. The same thing what the lady told me on the phone. So now I'm in desperate mode and I'm like, I have to get down there. Please, I have to get down to Florida. I want to make my dreams come true. You don't understand. I have to get down there. And I'm trying to put on the water. I'm trying all my might. So he's typing and I'm silent. And he's silent. And so I'm just like, oh, what is he doing? So I'm panicking what's my plan B? Because now I'm thinking, what's the plan B? I just get down there early. The first flight leaves at 5 o'clock. I'm not going to really get any sleep, which is not going to be ideal for a dance audition. Is it even worth me going? Now I'm thinking, do I even go? Still typing. No, nothing. Saying nothing. Still typing. All of a sudden he stops, hands me the ticket, and tells me, run. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, I just booked you on a different flight for a different airline. You got to go there. You got to get there. You have 5 minutes to get there. So I have my little travel suitcase. I have to go outside, run to the next terminal. I'm huffing and puffing and breathing in the cold, the snow's in my face. I'm running. I get to the counter and I'm like, did I make it? Now I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm in shape. I can't breathe. So she's like, you're on time. We got it. You just have to take your luggage on. We're good. You have no idea how happy I am that I was allowed to do that. So I was like, now, more pressure than anything to make this audition worth it. So finally, I get there. I get to the gate. The flight has been delayed. Okay, cool. Got it. Great. That's nice, right? Right. But at least the flight is leaving. At least we're leaving. So I finally get on the airplane. We finally take off. It's all good. We're all good. Get to Florida about 11 o'clock that night. I get into my room about 12 o'clock. Straight to bed. So, long story short for that, I go to the audition. The audition goes really well. Again, I make it to the very end where they say, you know what? Our people will call your people. Oh, okay, that again? Cool. That's fine. Whatever. So, I make it to the end. They never call my people. So, now what do? So, now our dance studio, actually performs in Disney every other year. It's one of their dancing, it's one of their performance opportunities that they have. And so we go down to Disney. We were planning to go to Disney anyway that summer. I think it was 2014 or 2015 or whatever. And I decided that I was going to just work for Disney. Like, hopefully, my thinking and my family's thinking were like, once you're in, maybe they have more auditions within the cast, right? Because that's what they call themselves, the cast. So you have more of a performance opportunity to dance and to audition. And I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea. So why don't I just like get a job like working what I do now, like working for retail or maybe working one of the rides or, something fun, right? Cool. That's what I thought. Yeah. I learned a lot. That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. We go to Disney. I go to the interview. I get the job. I work for Animal Kingdom, in one of their retail spaces. Cool. Part-time, which means I can still audition. All good. We're good, right? So I move that. So we come back in August. We're there for about a week. I come back. I quit my job. Actually, my 2 jobs. And moved to Disney that September. And I was in a hotel for about a month before I even started working there, because they told me my date to start, but I never got a confirmation from Disney when my orientation was gonna be, but I wanted to be down there anyway, so that I, if they were saying, okay, you have to come in this week or whatever, I'd be there. So I'm in Florida. I'm by myself. Now, at the time, my ex-boyfriend went to school in Atlanta, and it was great that he was right there. It was about 6 hours, which is not around the corner, but whatever, it's close enough than 17 hours from being home. So I was visiting him when I was down there before I started working, and it was nice. I was, I had somebody kind of in the area or whatever. So I then finally start my job. I have orientation. Everything's good. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm thrilled because I'm working in Disney. I'm like, oh my God, my dreams are coming true. I'm so excited. La 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 la. And it's perfect. I'm happy. I move in to my apartment. It's a house with other people who are working for Disney, and they're lovely. And I was asking them, because they actually they were working as some of the characters, and I was asking them okay, trying to get the inside. Are there more opportunities? And a lot of them were yeah, the auditions are on the website. The same website I've been looking at for a few years. She's yeah, all the auditions are posted on there. I'm yeah, I know that, but they're not another website or another post board to get auditions. She's no, all the auditions are on there. Okay, great. So I basically moved here for nothing, right? Right. All right, now I look like a little bit of a jackass because I'm down here. I'm trying to audition, but there are no auditions. And now the same thing I was doing at home, I'm doing here, but now I have less money and now less people that I'm around that I know. So, okay, cool. So now I'm getting a little bit more despondent. I go to a couple auditions. I went to a Tiana audition and I got cut because I'm a little too light. And yeah. So then I'm just like, now I'm starting to get depressed, because I'm like, what's the point of me being down here? Like, why am I here? So that shows up in my actions at work. So with Disney, you are not allowed to be late. Like, if you're a minute late, you're just late. Like, you might as well be an hour late. You're late. And that's what was happening to me. Like, I would go to work, and then I'd be like, oh shoot, I forgot something in my car. So it was not a easy walk going from my car to where my stuff was, where I had to be and like clock in. So I would take my time. I was like, whatever. Like, I don't care. It's fine. I don't care. Yeah, well, I probably should have cared. Because a few times, I think it was like 3 times, and then on my like schedule card, it was like, yeah, we're coming in for training, but like other people weren't coming in for training, but I was supposed to come in for training. It was weird. And so they pull me into the back room and they're like, Nicole, like, what's going on? And I'm like, nothing's happening. They're like, well, because you've been late, like, we're going to have to, like, let you go. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, well. Oh, well. I mean, just because you don't like the job doesn't mean you want to get fired from the job, right? You don't necessarily want to get fired. But, I mean, it's like, it still makes you get upset. So I was like, upset because I got fired, and I was like crying to my boyfriend. And I was like, oh my God, like, what's happening? Like, why am I so upset? But like, not really upset, but like upset. And so he's like, well, come down and like come up and just live with me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do that because I'm so unhappy. Like, I'm really unhappy. So everybody was like, Nicole, don't do it. I was like, I can't go home. Like, I'm like, I can't do it. So I'm like, Nicole, don't do it. So I did it. Of course, I did it because I'm 25 and I don't want anybody telling me what to do. So I'm going to do it. So yeah, I went. And that didn't work out either because I was so depressed because I was like, what am I doing with my life? I don't know what's happening. Yeah. And it was just like a hot mess and a half, like such a mess. And I then decided to come home. And that was that. And yeah, I got fired from Disney. Looking back on it now, I probably should have said something about my whole experience, about like not being able to audition as much as I wanted to, and just like kind of being a little bit more proactive and just kind of hanging in there. But it wasn't happening. So like I was getting like really uninspired and unmotivated to even do anything. To do anything. I didn't want to do anything at all. I barely wanted to be there. But yeah, if you are thinking about auditioning for Disney or thinking about working for Disney, the thing about it is that Disney, there's a certain mentality to work for Disney. And I'm going to tell you what it is in a second when I'm done with this. Because it's really hard to put on eyeliner and talk at the same time. So the mentality to work for Disney is don't think. Just do. They hand you the form, or they tell you what to do and you just do it. I had really great, some of my managers I had they were really great and really like amazing and helpful. And then I had some managers who were just like terrible. They were terrible people. Like they had I had some managers that just had this like power struggle, and so because this was like their first like manager job, they felt like they were able to like tell people what to do, and instead of like actually being a manager and managing people and showing people, you know, how this is done and motivating their employees, he was just like stupid.
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
Like real stupid. And I was just like rolling my eye. I think that's like probably why I got fired, because we did not get along. And I think I remember me being older than him, and that's not the problem. That wasn't the problem, like me being older than my manager. I don't really care about that, but it was just the way that he was telling people what to do. He was just like a real asshole. And I would roll my eyes all the time. And I don't have that kind of attitude mentality. I do what I'm told and this and the other, but I just was not getting along with this guy. I don't know what it was. But yeah, he was awful. I remember one night had to stay late to like set the store up for the next day, and he was just like not doing anything and like he just wasn't being a team player. Just because you're a manager doesn't mean you don't have to work too. You don't just tell people what to do. You have to do it yourself. And he wasn't doing that at all. And I didn't like it. And I think I said something. I was like, we would be able to get out of here a little bit faster if you were able to help us. And I don't think he liked that. But it was true. But yeah, so if you've ever been to Disney, you definitely notice like an older crowd that works there. I mean, they do have the college intern program, and I was working with a lot of college people. They were fun. They were the fun ones, and they were like, "This is so stupid. Like, why are they telling us to do this when this doesn't make sense?" Like some of the things that they would tell us, like how to restock the store, you would have to get, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but you get a printout of like every hour, you get a printout of things that were out of stock. And so you would have to go into the back, and depending on like what shift you were working, sometimes if you're working in like out on the floor, you would be in a different uniform. If you're working in back stock, it would be a different uniform. So if you're working in back stock, you would get a printout every hour about the things that were needed in the front, because obviously it's a very, very like busy store. So things are going off the shelf at, faster than you're working at your local mall. So we would have to go and get stuff, and then we would go to the floor, and there would be things that weren't there, that weren't on the list. So we would go to the back and say, okay, I remember this item wasn't there, but it's not on the list, but I'm going to put it in my cart anyway to restock it. And we would get in trouble. They're like, if it's not on the list, don't restock it. Like, it'll come up eventually. And it's like, but we see that it needs to be on the floor now. So it was those instances where it was like, yeah, okay, so you don't want me to think, just do, right? Right, cool, okay. That's what I'll do then. So, yeah. It was quite awful working. Well, at least my experience working for Disney wasn't as great as I was hoping it to be. Because I love Disney. Like, I love the atmosphere. I love, like, just everything they have to offer as far as your customers and I learned very quickly that I am supposed to be a guest of Disney, not a worker of Disney. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. So I'm hoping that I was able to help anybody out there that are thinking of working for Disney or auditioning for Disney. Basically, if you really want to work for Disney, hang in there. Keep looking at the auditions. Keep looking at the posts. I don't know what it's like now because of COVID, but I know once we get out of COVID, I'm assuming that things will, be a little bit different. If you're looking to work for Disney, just do what you're told and don't be late. Don't be late because you get fired. And that's what happened to me. I got fired for being late. So, looking back on it now, shouldn't have been late. But, I don't really care. So, it's fine. But that's my story. That's how I got fired from Disney. So, tune in next time to my next story. I have a few experiences to share with you guys. And I'm hoping that you'll learn or you'll laugh. One or the other. Learn or laugh. So we'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day and a great week. And make sure you tune in to the Nicole Marie Experience. Bye.